Oasis Audio presents Crater Trueblood and the Lunar Rescue Company by Homer Hickam. Read for you by Adam Verner. Chapter 1. Beneath the vast Michael Collins Dome in Armstrong City, Medaris Enterprises guards held back curious pedestrians as Dr. Maria Medaris strode purposefully from her corporate headquarters building and into the back seat of a black limo bug, her assistant Miss Torricelli settling in beside her. Maria was a glamorous celebrity, often appearing on lunar and earthy and business shows, as well as slick fashion pewter sites. She was also an executive who led companies that employed thousands of lunar settlers. It was said she had the golden touch when it came to business because every enterprise she commanded was profitable and growing. It was also said, this by the gossip mongers, that this raven-haired young woman was cold and aloof, for no recent suitor, among them the wealthiest and most eligible bachelors on the Earth and the Moon, ever came close to winning her hand. There were also rumors of a lost love, a common helium-3 miner who'd since disappeared somewhere in the way back. But if he had ever existed, he'd been out of Maria Medaris's life for years, and was therefore of no interest to the columnists and bloggers on the society pages of Two Worlds. A broken heart can explain many things in a woman, but first, a heart must exist, and there was some doubt by the writers who sold copy about her that Dr. Medaris had anything other than the muscle that pumped blood in her chest. Had these scribblers cared to delve deeper into their subject, they would have discovered her lofty poise was entirely a ruse. Every day, Maria awoke thinking of that helium-3 miner out there in the dust, and despaired. Because even as she commanded others to do her bidding, she felt quite lost without him. Although her expression was outwardly serene as the Luna Parazzi clicked away, she was in fact inwardly sad, romantically bewildered, and tired to the marrow of her bones. She had already put in a 14-hour workday, and it was still far from over. And when she awoke the next morning, she knew the Hel-3 miner she adored would not be by her side, and the reason he would not be there was entirely her fault. "How many?" Maria wearily asked her assistant, while struggling to push the man from her mind. He was always there, but stronger when she was tired and unable to fight him off. 14 decision papers. "Virgil, let's go," Maria commanded the driver, then subsided into the plush faux leather seat as the limo bug eased into the traffic flow, leaving the running photographers behind. "All right, Teresa," she directed. "Put them up." As the chauffeur weaved them through the traffic of fast bugs and dust trucks and limo bugs, along Mooncrete roads lined by bright orange streetlights, Miss Torricelli drew rectangles in the air, describing each document that appeared. "Approved," Maria said, or "disapproved," or "say for more study," and her assistant dutifully touched the shimmering rectangle, whipping it back inside her work pad. After passing through the J.R. Thompson Tunnel connecting the Michael Collins Dome with the Neil Armstrong Dome, the limo bug turned to the southwest toward the various private skyports that service the Moon's largest city. When Miss Torricelli noticed a small sigh that escaped Maria's lips, she said, "Just a few more to go, Dr. Medaris." Maria did her best to focus on the floating contract. "Disapproved," she said. "I think we can get a better price. Tell purchasing to ask for a 10% discount, and to let this company know that if we don't get it, we'll jump to their competition, and keep going. If I don't make these decisions now, I'll just have to do them later." "Yes, ma'am," Miss Torricelli said, and drew the rectangle for the next decision paper to hang in the air. When they reached the Medaris Enterprises jump car facility, Maria made a decision on the final document, then climbed out, took the kit bag handed her by the driver, and walked into the hangar where her private jump car waited on a mobile launch pad. Her day had begun in Armstrong City, but was going to end at Clyde's Dream, a chaotic boomtown located in the brownish-gray dust of the Moscow Sea on the far side of the moon. She would spend the night there before inspecting the giant new telescope her company was building. Tall and elegant, Maria was dressed in a military-style jacket over a chic jumpsuit of clinging Lunicell fabric, all in the latest fashion color of earth sky blue, the color sorely missed on the moon. She had also tucked her shapely legs into a pair of unfashionable ersatz leather flight boots. Although fashion was important to Maria, jump cars could get chilly, and she didn't care for cold toes during flight. As she came through the entry hatch, she nodded to Jack Nguyen, her pilot, and a scar-faced veteran of the recent war. "Would you like to fly her, Dr. Medaris?" he asked. Maria's fatigue and sadness instantly evaporated. She loved flying jump cars, and she was good at it too. Best demonstrated during the war when she'd not only outflown, but managed to cripple an armed-to-the-gills Earthian war pod, intent on shooting her little jump car down. As Nguyen slipped over into the co-pilot seat, she eagerly climbed into the cockpit. "Hatches sealed, Jack?" she asked. "All sealed, ma'am. She's ready to go." "Medaris hangar, take us out," Maria said to the ground crew. The first set of hangar doors slid open, and the jump car pad slowly rolled along a track into an interim chamber, the doors closing behind and sealing it off. Pumps were engaged to drain the air into pressurized tanks for reuse, followed by the outer doors opening to the vacuum of the moon. The pad trundled through the doors to its designated launching position. Once poised for liftoff, spotlights focused on the ship while streams of vaporized liquid propellant vented from its 3 engines. "Armstrong Control," Maria called. "Medaris 1 Alpha on the pad. Flight plan 047 Alpha Kilo Zulu. Trajectory is standard northeast vector along the far side corridor. Destination, Clyde Stream." "Roger, Medaris 1 Alpha. You are cleared for transit." "Ready, Jack?" Maria asked. "Full throttle up," the pilot responded, his eyes on the sky brilliantly awash with stars, only partly obscured by the lights and fuel vapors. An eager smile formed on Maria's face. All business and thoughts of old and lost loves were set aside. It was time to fly. "Pewter, autopilot off. I'll take her all the way. On my mark for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark." The jump car's trio of engines burst into action, and it soared atop their flames into the sky, then transitioned along a ballistic arc. Its tail kept constantly pointed at the lunar surface. Maria kept her eye on the trajectory displayed on the pewter while moving the joystick to stay precisely on the curve. "Wish I could wring her out," Maria said regretfully. "Just give me a call any time," the pilot replied, "and I'll have her ready to go as far and as fast as you care to fly her." "Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it." "I appreciate the job you gave me," he answered. "Not many wanted me, messed up as I was after the war." Maria made no reply. She didn't have to. There were a lot of so-called messed-up veterans after the vicious war between the moon and the Earth, and she made it her policy to hire them when she could. Experience had shown that all they needed was a job that allowed them to be useful. And, anyway, veterans were the best employees around. In fact, Maria was one herself, having gotten more than a whiff of the war while fighting with the irregulars in the dust, and later the Fuser fleet in the sky. It had been a nasty conflict, and there had been no winner, although it had been concluded by a truce begged for by an exhausted Earth, tired of fighting a bunch of recalcitrant Lunarians who simply refused to give up. Maria was proud of how the moon had fought back, although the dead and the maimed of the conflict called out to her. She knew it also concerned her grandfather, the truly great Colonel Medaris, who had told her that he intended to fix it so that war would never return to the moon.